Hello and welcome to this edition of Broome Up Front. I'm your host Mike Partenza. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to work on a big-time set outside the area? Have you ever wondered what it would take to get that opportunity? Well, today we have a great show for you. We're going to have two guest speakers joining us today to talk about their experiences working on big-time sets. It takes people years of schooling, internships, and lots of experience in that specific field to work on a television set. In fact, you may not know it, but your local college may offer some of these opportunities, internships within the area or even outside the area. For example, the Disney internship. Now let's take a quick break and look at one of BCC's celebrities, Tim Skinner, a local radio personality.
Teacher here at Broome Community College about his career in radio. Where did you first start your schooling?
I first started my schooling through Shenango Valley High School here locally in Binghamton, and then I wrapped up things. I got my associates through Broome here, and got my bachelor's through SUNY Cortland, and working on my master's through University of Phoenix. Well, for about 10 years, I worked as on-air talent and promotions director for Citadel Broadcasting. I was on air as TJ McLean for 98.1 The Hawk, as TJ on the Whale, and I voiced a few commercials as well, did some voiceover work for them while also handling their special events. I got to set up the banners and the different events, and just made sure that the concerts and everything went smoothly. I've had people, especially for the country station for the Hawk, I've had some people drive up with Hawk bumper stickers all over their cars. I have gotten like fan mail, so to speak, that told me that my overnight voice soothed the voices in someone's head, and that they were currently, they were of the belief that the night guy was somehow their brother and trying to drag them to hell, and that the afternoon drive guy was the devil and was going to marry them in hell.
Would you recommend going into radio for other communication students that are thinking about it?
Oh, absolutely. It's a wonderful business. It's a lot of fun. People who work in radio are very passionate about it. As soon as you crack open the microphone and start talking and having fun and playing the music, it really is a worthwhile job. It won't make you a millionaire, but you know, in the feel-good department, it really feels good to be working in radio and just having a blast.
Where did you first go to school?
I first went to school at Shenango Valley, and I knew someone would come walking right in the door.
It's okay.
Hello and welcome back to Broome Up Front. Our first guest joining us today is going to be Jason Detrani. Everyone, please give a welcome to Mr. Detrani.
Hi, everybody.
How you doing, sir?
Yep.
Hi, Jason. Thanks for joining us today. Why don't you give us a quick wrap-up of what you do?
Do I look at you or the camera?
Look at the camera.
All right. I'm a professor here at Broome Community College, and I run the communications program, which is a program of really interesting characters and very talented people, and that's what I do.
All right, can you give us a quick wrap-up of your education background?
I have a bachelor's degree, Bachelor of Fine Arts degree in film production and cinematography, and
Excellent.
I have a Master of Art in Applied Science in Photography and Digital Imaging.
All right, great. I'm going to bring out our next speaker, Sylvia Brega.
Hello.
Hi, how are you today, Sylvia?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well. Thanks for joining us. Why don't you give the audience a quick wrap-up of what you do?
Well, I work here at the school. I'm an instructor for television production, and I'm also a media technician for the Web and Media Resources Department, and I'm a commercial producer for Fox 40.
Oh, that's awesome. What's your educational background?
She sounds so professional.
I have an associate's degree in communications and media arts and my bachelor's in video production.
All right, great. I'd like to ask you both about internships. I'm going to start with you, Sylvia. What kind of experience have you had with them?
I did a lot of internships while I was in college, both here at Broome and when I transferred to Ithaca. I interned for Channel 34 when I was attending here at Broome, and I worked at a couple of internships out in LA while I was attending Ithaca.
That's great.
Yeah.
And how about you, Jason?
I didn't do internships when I was in school just because I needed to pay rent and stuff.
Absolutely.
But I run the internship program here at BCC, so I place a lot of interns. And in fact, for some of the stations, they're all like our former interns, and many of the on-air personalities as well.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right, so
And Sylvia got her associate's degree from our program, BCC,
I did.
Communications
Awesome.
Program. Just wanted to mention that.
awesome.
Represent.
Alumni of this class.
That's right. She's an alumni of this class. And so is Chris Keaty, the other director up there.
Excellent. So what changes were you forced to make when you were taking on these internships?
Well, sleep was one of them. Didn't get much sleep.
Understandable.
I mean, besides that, I mean, doing that and having a job and going to school, I mean, it's a lot of rearranging of your schedule, but.
Right, right. What kind of tasks were you doing inside these internships?
I was, at one of the internships I did in LA, I was doing pre-production. So I was doing casting for a Nickelodeon game show called
that's
Brain
great.
Surge. And the other one I was doing production. So I was a production I was actually hired as a production assistant on a couple of talk shows.
So you did a lot more than just running around and getting coffee.
Yeah, I did.
Good, good. Can you explain the positive effects this had?
Yeah, I mean, doing internships, being involved in internships, I mean, can teach you so much more than just being in a classroom. Although being in a classroom teaches you a lot in the first place, but it gave me a lot more experience that I wouldn't have gotten otherwise. And it's not only good job experience, it's good life experience as well, so.
Can you mention any of the drawbacks, if there were any?
Drawbacks, I mean, I guess one of the drawbacks is I wish I did more of them. I wish I could have,
That's a good one.
you know, I could have handled more or did one every semester, so.
Internships she's talking about.
All right, great. Now, Jason, I understand you worked with a union. Could you explain your experiences with that?
I did. I was a gaffer. A gaffer is a lighting technician.
Okay.
And so I was in IATSE Electric, they call it. IATSE
Right.
is the International Association of Technical Stage Engineers.
Okay.
And we worked in a number of venues. We worked at the Manhattan Center Studios, Veritas Studios. I think the most interesting gig that I worked on was I was the key gaffer for one season of Blue's Clues.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was kind of cool. And easy. Cool
Right,
and
yeah.
easy, yeah. And a lot of candy, so it was great.
I can imagine.
And not out in the rain, so we liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Sylvia, can you explain your experiences being non-union?
Non-union, I mean, that's how I got to do a lot of the stuff that I did get to do. That's how I got hired as a production assistant. And
She's in
while
a union now, though.
I'm in a union now. I'm in a union now, but I wasn't at the time. So, I mean, literally every day on set, they would say, "What do you want to learn?" So, I just picked something.
That's great.
Yeah.
All right, let's quick talk about your experience working in LA versus working locally here in Binghamton.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
LA, I mean, working in LA is very different than working in Binghamton. Binghamton, you most likely have more stable jobs. It's a much smaller market.
Right.
Working out in LA is more of a freelance thing unless you can find something that's pretty regular. So.
All right, and Jason, how about you working in New York City?
Am I
versus
going to have
locally?
time for show and tell before I answer the question?
Right after you answer this,
Okay,
we'll do your
great.
little show and tell.
Yeah. What was the question?
What are your experiences working
Is she in
in
charge?
New York City versus working
Oh.
locally?
Oh, New York City is really busy. I just wanted to point out, I brought a couple things to the show.
Excellent.
Okay, first, we're starting a scholarship for students who are interested in TV production. I have a $700 check that was made out to Dan Williams that we're going to cash to start our
That's great.
scholarship. And I wanted to point out also that one of the
Hand that
things
over
I
here.
started doing when I was in the city was editing textbooks. And my 2 textbooks just came out, and they got props
Ah,
Great, you're
to BCC.
pumped.
And my
Applause
picture's
for
on the
that.
back, so I look kind of intelligent.
look for this guy in
So
bookstores.
learn how to read is my motto for you guys.
All right, excellent. I appreciate you guys coming on today and talking with us. That does it for our last edition of Broome Up Front. Join us next time. I'm your host, Mike Partenza. Have a good night.
The handshake, don't forget. Nice to be on the show. Shake her hand, too.